welcome to my Come and Learn channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use chalk with Versamark ink. I just would like to take this opportunity to thank all my new subscribers on this channel. I know that I've got a lot of requests to upload more videos on here because there are a lot of people who would like to see me go at a very slow pace to explain everything. This is the aim of this channel, where I will not be editing, where I will cut off, part of the process. So you will get to see step by step of me making this card and then showing you the techniques along the way. So I will have a link I will have a few links actually in the information box below, and if you have not watched episode 1 where I introduced stamping, and then episode 2 where I introduced embossing. So every time I am going to be uploading a video on here, it will link to my previous videos. So for example, today I'm going to be showing you chalk technique but using stamping. So if you have not done, if you are new to card making and you're not sure about the inks and the stamping, you have to refer back to my previous videos. Anyway, on to this video today. Before I actually go ahead and make the card, I'd like to talk about colors. Now, I will have another link in my information box below where I talk about the color wheel, colors, their relationship between each other in painting. Today I am going to be showing this to you, the same idea, but I'm going to be using pastels. I was going to be using coloring pencils, but then I don't have a range of hues of colors in there. However, in this one here, I will be able to demonstrate the color wheel to you. So the reason it's important for you to understand how colors work together, because this will make it much easier for you when you have to choose inks, or when you have to make a decision about which colors to use as far as your stamping is concerned, as far as your cards are concerned, anything to do with color really. So this soft pastel over here, it's Mungyo. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to attempt that. But I honestly cannot remember where I bought it from, but I know I bought it from here in the UK. And what I really like about it, it has a range of tones in here, a range of hues, and it's fantastic. So and I have used this quite a bit in my card making, but not so much when I'm doing art. But as you can see, I didn't even make a dent in it, but I have been using them. Now they are called pastels. You also can get chalks. I'm just going to quickly look in my drawer and see if I have my chalk here. I can quickly show you. Yes. So you don't have to buy the pastels. The properties are very similar, and you can get a much cheaper one, which is decorative. They are called decorative chalks. So this one has a shimmer in it, and it's by Dove Craft. So, and it looks like this here. Very much like eyeshadow makeup, and it comes with this tool over here, and you get some cotton balls in here as well that you can grab with a tool like this and then use the chalks. Now this one has a shimmer. You can get other ones as well with no shimmer, so I would use shimmer for depending on the project, what kind of look I'm trying to get. And Stampin Up also does some stamping pastels, and they look like this here. When I was a demonstrator, I got this one, and it looks like this here. Again, fantastic range of colors there for you to use, and there you go. and it's really up to you, you know, which one you want to get. So just so you know, there's a range of companies, I think, which does these pastels. Now, with this one here, what I really like with this one is very, very pigmented, you know, so a little goes a long way. Onto the color wheel. So I am going to be drawing a color wheel for you. In the color wheel, we have 12 hues. We have 3 primary colors, which are red, blue, and yellow. Primary because we cannot mix any other colors to get these 3 colors. And then when we mix any one of these 2 together, any 2 of the primary, I don't know why it's not in focus, any 2 of these primary, we get a secondary color. So red plus blue is yellow, red plus yellow is orange, and blue plus yellow is green. And then we have the complementary color. Complementary colors are colors which are found next to each other on the color wheel. We're going to get to that in a minute. So to demonstrate the mixing of these colors, it is so much easier if I do that with paint, because I can actually mix the paint and show you. I do have a video tutorial, and I'm going to put the link in the description box below. Please go ahead and have a look how, you know, I mix the colors, and then you can see what I mean. But I also today I wanted to transfer this color theory with the chalk. If you're not using paints and then you have chalk, how are you going to transfer that theory into your chalk or pastels? So I'm going to make a rough circle here. So please don't laugh at my circle, it's not perfect. Just want to go ahead and do that very quickly. And then we have to have 12, so blue and yellow. And then we're going to have these 2 mixed together. We're going to have 2 here, these 2 mixed together, 2 here, these 2 mixed together here, and then in here. Okay, so now I've already picked out my colors to create my color wheel. And my primary colors are here, red, blue, and yellow. And when you mix your red and your blue together, you will get a purple. And sorry, red and blue mixed together, you will get this purple in the bit. So in between these 2, you get this one here. And if the purple has more red, it's a more reddish purple. If it has more blue, it's a more bluish purple. Same thing for the rest as well. So blue and yellow. So green, but closer, more blue in it, it's a more greenish blue, closer to the more yellow, more greenish yellow, okay? And then your red and your yellow together, you will get orange, but more yellow, a much brighter orange, more yellowish orange. Closer to red, you get your more reddish orange. So I'm going to put that on paper so that you can see what I mean. That would be our red color. Put that down. And then that's our blue here. And yellow. These are our primary colors. Red and blue mixed together, we get this purple. If it was in paint, like I said before, you would be taking the same amount of red, same amount of blue to get your purple. If your purple has more red in it, you will get a reddish purple. If your purple has more blue in it, you will get a bluish purple. Yellow and blue together, green. More blue in your green, greenish purple, more yellow, a yellowish green, has more green, more yellow in it. And then red and yellow, we get our orange, which has more yellow, would be this, and orange and red, more red in it, you get this orange. So and this is just to give you an idea about the color wheel. So why is it important for you to know this? So if you are, look over here, this is your red, and this is blue, and this is yellow. This is your color wheel, and these are the primary colors as we have discussed. Now, any colors that are opposite each other are complementary colors. They complement each other. So red, the complementary color of red is green. The complementary color of blue is orange, and complementary color of yellow is purple. Now, red and green are also contrasting colors. So if you put red and you put green together, they have a very nice contrast. Same goes for the blue and the purple, and the blue and the orange, and the yellow and the purple. So what I'm going to ask you to do, please go ahead and sit down and play with your colors, whether you have paints, coloring pencils, pastels, chalk. Just have a play around to just see the final outcome when you put, these colors together. If you want to make a project where you want your colors to be in harmony with each other, I would then consider, colors that are next to each other. So in this sense, if you are using red and, you are looking for harmonious colors, then you will be using a range of, orange, and then right down to here to the yellow. You can use anything in between these, but if you want a harmonious colors in more green, then you'll be looking at this over here. You can start with the primary colors and going this way, so yellow and those different tone of greens, or then it applies, the same thing applies for the blue and the purples. If you want contrasting colors, then you can use red and then two different tone of green, or blue, a range of orange and yellow. So this is just, something for you to think about. Now, when you look about colors, how you put colors together and what kind of mood you want to create. Since we are on this topic, also, just like a side note, warm colors are the fire colors, like the red, the orange, and the yellow. Cool colors would be the blue and the green. So colors also have, emotions. I've said that wrong. Colors also evoke emotions. So if you making a painting, for example, and you want to project, for example, loneliness, cold, sadness, you would probably use these cool colors, and then some gray as well, and some black. Whereas if you want to show passion, love, or anger, that sort of thing, you would probably use these colors then, the red and the orange. So again, this is something for you to think about. Now that I've explained a bit on the color wheel and the color theory and what they represent and what they mean, I'm going to go ahead now and create a card onto our today's project. As far as your chalk is concerned, if you're just using the chalk, just like, I was using other papers, and the properties of chalk, they will move around on your paper. If you want to fix them, well, again, this is something, it depends on, what kind of look you're going for. Some people, they do not like fixing their projects because they think it changes the color, but this is a fixative. that you can buy. It's for dry pastels, pencils and charcoals, and you can just spray. Just make sure you don't spray in a closed room. It can be toxic. You can just go outside and spray your work, or in a well ventilated area, you know, space, and you can just spray your work. But remember, once you spray this, you cannot remove your pastels. So before you spray, just make sure you are happy with your coloring. And if you wanted to take off some pastels to add some light, you have to do that. You know, use your putty rubber, add your lights or whatever you have to do before you actually spray it. Once you've sprayed it, you can't remove, but you can still work on it and add more color. Right, on to our project. Today I am going to be using this stamp set here. I've got a couple of stamp sets. I want to create a background using my chalk, and using chalk, you have to use Versamark ink to do that. So I'm just looking for my Versamark. Versamark has disappeared. Shouldn't really disappear because I'm the only one using them. So in that case, I'm just going to use, sorry guys, I have no idea where is my Versamark. When that happens, it really annoys me. So I'm going to go ahead and use my embossing ink instead. I'll use this one here, the Tinted embossing ink. Well, to use chalk or pastels, with your stamping, you have to use an ink that will remain, which will stay wet, okay, for a while. So I'm gonna use that, and this is the Best Blossoms by Stampin Up. I'll be using a few stamps from here. Mixed Bouquet and A Rose is a Rose. So a couple of stamps from here. I'm going to start off by using an open rose because I am going to be layering as well. Open rose, some open flowers. Let me start off with these first and then we'll see what happens. So the background of my card will be a craft card. So, and then I'm going to be doing my chalking on here. So I would just work on this, on this space here, and then I will just trim it. Let's get started. I've said that so many times now. Okay, take your stamp, ink it up. I like to take my ink pad to my stamp. That way I feel that, have more control and I know I'm going all around. And then I'm just going to make sure my surface is clean. There's nothing sticking to it. And then I'm just going to go and start stamping. Okay, because it's tinted, you can maybe see a little bit. Then stamp around here. I do like to go off the page. Maybe here. For now, I'm just going to put this aside, and then I'm just going to use, when this stamp is small, and I take it to the ink pad, and I'm just going to be adding here. Okay. Haven't done any layering yet, Then I'm gonna come in and pick another stamp. So I'm now choosing this one here. So this time there's a big rose here, so I'm just trying to think where I want to put this one. I'm gonna go ahead and place it here, right here. Okay, and I need to add one more of this element somewhere to show on the page. I'm gonna trim this down, so I'm gonna go here off the page, right? Okay, now next stamp. At this time I am going to start adding leaves and branch. It's a closed image, so I am just going to come right here, go a little bit off the page, and then this way, perhaps right here, but coming off the page. I seem to be having a problem with my camera. Now I'm gonna come back in with this open leaf here, this one, and then let's come in and fill in some gaps. So maybe here and there on top there. Okay, keep going with it. As you can see, there's no planning as such. It's an abstract, kind of abstract background. No right or wrongs. Just go with the flow. Okay, I just want to add some of these dots as well, here and there. I am going to be leaving some empty space as well, because I want the background to show. The chalk will stick to the ink, the wet ink. Okay, then maybe some branches. Actually, no branches. Okay, I would like a smaller images as well. So I'm taking it from this A Rose is a Rose set. I'm gonna come in and add these. I'm just checking very quickly if I will have enough to go onto my card. I will layer it, so I need to add a bit more around here. I would usually cut this first before I start stamping, you know, to the size I want. But sometimes I think when I do that, I feel like I'm limiting my area. I tend to try to work, you know, in that space, and I don't know. I just prefer to do it this way. Okay, now just closing my ink pad. Let's get chalking. I use some cotton wool, and then I'm going to be taking my chalk. Now, what kind of look am I going for? I need to make this decision now. Do I want some warm, cold? Do I want this to be a realistic background, you know, with flowers, to be red rose or pink rose and green leaves? So I have to make this decision now. So what I am going to do is just to kind of like apply the color theory, just to give you an idea. Instead of sticking to realistic colors, I'm just gonna go with I'm just gonna create a cool palette and just add my chalk using just blues and purples. Should we do that? So let's go ahead and start with some blue. So I'm just gonna dab my ink on here and there. I like the part where, you know, the project comes to life when you add the chalk. Then I'm just going to move to some darker blue. Remember how we talk about when you have your palette right in front of you? Remember how we talk about contrasting colors as well? So with blue, what would be the contrasting colors? It would be yellow. It would be orange. So I might add a dash of orange here and there. But let me carry on with my cool colors first. So turquoise, just moving my cotton ball around, and then do that. At the moment, when I'm looking at my work, pretty similar, they're all looking. So I need to go in now and find something a bit different in tone. So I'm looking at all my colors here, and I'm just going to pick onto this blue and then just see if that changed. Yes, this is different. I'm just going to add this here and there. It's more like a purplish blue. And a cool palette, so some green. But I think what I want to do now is just bring the orange to really create this contrast. So I'm going to pick up this orange here and start adding this in. So orange is opposite on the color wheel, okay? So what we call complementary, contrasting color. Now the chalk goes also on the background on the white card. However, the chalk will catch onto the wet ink much more than, you know, the card itself. Okay, so that's what it will look like. Now, obviously, you can also use realistic colors, you know, stick to the color that you want, but for demonstration purposes, I wanted to do this. Right, now, that's done. What I want to do now is trim my card a size on my for this here. And in this tutorial I'm showing you chalking, but also I'm going to showing you how to tie a ribbon, and we're also going to add the sentiment. So now this is how I would decide about where to trim. I'm just going to place it onto my card, just eyeball it to leave an edge, and I know I'm going to cut here. We'll be cutting here. My trimmer also has disappeared. However, I know that my husband was using my trimmer, so it could be in a different room. I don't think he would be using my Versamark, so that's something I need to think about now. What happened? Oh, I may have taken it to work because I had my like a craft club. Sometimes I do bring in my own stuff to demonstrate. Oh yeah, I think I must have left it at school. Never mind. So now I would then want to add my sentiment, and then I'm just using the other side of the card, and then I am going to be showing you how to add the ribbon. So first of all, let me get the ribbon and then we'll decide. Now with this tone, this color scheme, which ribbon, the color of the ribbon that you are going to be using, what would you go for? Think about it. So we've got blue and a dash of orange. Would you use white ribbon? Would you use blue ribbon? You know, so this is something for you to think about. Are you going to stick to the color scheme? Or are you going to try and bring the craft from the back, the color of the craft, to the front? So then that's when we go and we have a look at our ribbon. Then we can make this decision. So I've got some ribbons here, and I think in this case I am going to be using this one here. I don't want to use a blue ribbon or an orange ribbon because I don't want to take away the focus from the background. So I am going to be using quite a subdued color, which is a tone lighter than my craft card. This is what I want to do. So I'm going to be using, this is again ribbon from Stampin Up, but I do not know the name or anything, so that was a while back. So okay, so this is how I decide where I'm going to cut my ribbon. I place it on my card, and then, you know, I kind of like figured out this will go at the back, and then I would be tying the ribbon here at the front. So about there. I'm happy to cut my ribbon about here. Let's go ahead and do that. Today I'm going to be showing you how to tie a bow. So my ribbon will be at the bottom here, and my sentiment would then be here on the side here. I may pop up my sentiment I'm just checking something. I may pop up my sentiment. Do I want it pattern? The white is a bit too white, so I'm not really keen on this white card here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this piece of card here and just add some chalk to it. Same color that we've used for the, for the background. Just to soften it a bit. Can you see what I've done here? Just to kind of like soften it and make it look, part of the project. Yeah, I'm more happy with this now. Okay, so let's go ahead first, because I know where the sentiment will go. Let's go ahead first and add our ribbon. So place your ribbon like so. bring it to the front. I am going to be tying my ribbon towards the bottom like this here, and the bow will be in the middle, and my sentiment would be probably, I think I'm going to put my sentiment right to the left there, because I don't want to hide this pretty pattern that I've created, and this will be much smaller as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Right, so left over right, and then under. Okay, like so. Place your finger here, and then this time right over left, and then under, and then pull. I mean, I'm showing you a knot today, not bow. It may take a bit of practice before you get it right, but that's okay. And I am going to be adding a dot at the bottom. And then to create the tail, press the ribbon together and then just cut it this way. Press the ribbon together and cut it at a slant. Right? I know I want this. Sorry, I just realized I was still zoomed in. So I've applied the adhesive at the back, and then I've glued this down. And now I'm using some glue dots. Looks like this here. And then I'm just gonna take one and add it. It's too big, so I'm just taking some of it and I'm just adding it behind my knot. I'm just pressing it down just to make sure it stays down. Now, sentiment. On here, I am going to be adding this sentiment here. Thank you for touching my life. And I'd like to use a color which is, I think I'm going to be using Malted Milk by Jenny Bolin. And let's have a quick look. Yeah, I think this color would look nice. I don't want something too strong. However, we may not be able to read this properly. Oh, let me use my color box Freak Chalk ink pad, Chestnut Roan. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Then we're going to trim this. I need to get my guillotine. Making sure this is straight. Okay, so I'm going to cut this here and then finish off the end by cutting a triangle out. to give like the arrow, inverted arrow shape, and this will be added to my card here. I don't want too much layering on this card. I could actually pop this up with pop dot, but I just want this to be stuck down. I don't want this to be too bottom heavy, so I'm just gonna add it here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so there you have it, the finished card. And I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope most importantly this tutorial has helped you understand, you know, the color wheel and chalking. So my next tutorial, in my next tutorial I will be talking about creating again a background with your stems, but this time how to create a pattern, a repeat pattern with your stems. And then I will be showing you, you know, a different type of bow. If you have any requests, please leave them down below in the comment section, so that, because I'm making a list now and then deciding what's going to come next, so then I can, you know, try and include your request in my future tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, remember to thumbs up, subscribe and share it. Thanks a lot. Bye.